So I was up till 12, about 12:30, just messaging this girl. I know I stayed up for a bit. I thought, who cares, it doesn't matter, it's only one day, it's only one night. Nothing inappropriate was said or anything like that, it was just good conversation. I went to sleep, and then I woke up the next morning, my alarm went off, and I thought, you know what, it doesn't matter, I've had a good day yesterday, so I'll rest. So I put the phone down, turned the alarm off, and went back to sleep. Missed the gym. And I woke up again to start work. And I logged on, I was sat there listening to this presentation, this lecture, and doing my work, and I just thought, what is going on? It's like this wave of negative emotion. Like, my mind doesn't really do this, so I'm normally in a very positive state most of the time. And it was just frustration and agitation. And I got up and I started like moving things about on my whiteboard, and just like I couldn't sit still and things. Things were irritating me. And I didn't feel like doing any work. I didn't feel like scripting or learning or studying. I was like, what is going on? Like, what has happened? Everything's been on point yesterday. And I realised there was one variable that shifted, and it was my sleep. And I remembered something that Chris Will said on a podcast. He said the time that he leveled up his business and got himself to the next level was when he started focusing on his health and when he started getting his sleep schedule on track. Now, I thought about this, and in the world of entrepreneurship, it's a year-long game. I'm not talking 1 year, I'm talking a yearly long game. It could take 3, 4, 5, 6 years to get to where you want to get to and even evolve from that stage. And that means you need to have an engine that is working efficiently at all times. You see, the sleep is the key to that. Sleep is the foundation for long-term success, because it sets your foundation for the day. If you have poor sleep, you can't focus. I struggled to concentrate the next day. I was agitated. And do you know what I did? I was so frustrated that I went and listened to a full podcast of Andrew Huberman, and I sat there, condensed it and studied it in one day. So if we want to be the best versions of ourselves and really take ourselves to the next level and be a high performer, sleep is not a priority, it is the priority. So let's talk about it. So a good sleep starts from the hours before bed. So let's talk about some things you've probably not heard of that can help you get to sleep a lot faster and have regenerative sleep. And the first thing is, in the evening you want to look at sunlight at a low solar angle. Now what that means is, you know, when you wake up in the morning, the sun rises from the east, and when it rises from the east it fires off a different wavelength than it does when it sets. Now the wavelengths that it fires off when it rises gets your body alert. It makes you primed for the day. That's why it's always good to get outside early in the morning. But when it gets to the low solar angle, when it gets to late afternoon / early evening, if you view the sunlight then, it will actually prime your mind to get to sleep. And it has an additional benefit as well. It has a small benefit of offsetting the damage done from artificial lights. And that's the next point. When it gets close to bedtime, you want to start avoiding lights as much as possible, because these lights emit energy and waves that basically wake you up. So these could be your laptop screens, it could be your phones, it could be the overhead lights in work or shops. You want to avoid them, and you want to start swapping them with a few things. Now that it's daytime, you want to start using your natural light that you get and the dimmer light that you can get, or you use things like this, a desk lamp. Even better, you can put the desk lamp low, so on the floor, and make sure the lights that you use are warm coloured lights, so orange, yellow, red, those kind of things. And you want to stay away from the blue and the bright white lights, especially in the evening. And the next thing you want to do, which is key to falling asleep fast, especially in this climate, is when you go to sleep, what you want to do is lower your body temperature, ideally from around 1 to 3 degrees. And the best way I've found to do that is by taking a warm shower just before bed. Now you might think, why warm shower? But why is because our body is created to compensate. So as our body temperature heats up through a warm shower, what it does is it compensates it by reducing our body temperature. And at the same time you combine that with cooling your room down. So not just when you go to sleep, maybe an hour or half an hour before you go to sleep, what you want to do is open your windows, get your fan on if you've got one, and let the room cool down. So that way when you get to sleep, you can go to sleep straight away. And here's an additional tip as well that I found that's helped me get to sleep really good. And it's to cut off all electronic devices 30 minutes before bed. You want to start reducing the inputs that you get, the fast, quick, informational thinking, and replace it for something very light, something that can take your brain away from the constant visual cues, something like reading. 30 minutes of reading before bed is one of the best habits that I found for my mental health and good, clear sleep. Now, I say this from genuine, true experience. I'll be honest with you, I am not a naturally bright person. I'm not a naturally, creative person. I had to dial these things, and that's the only way that I can manage my work, my gym, my MMA, my scripting, editing, posting all my videos. I do that myself. The learning and condensing and educating. You can actually see if the things that I'm practicing are working or not. And sleep, I found, is one of the most, if not the most important thing, and I know that people neglect it. And here's an additional tip for you as well. It's commonplace that we found in the UK that weekends are the best time. You just relax now and mess up your sleep schedule. But it's actually one of the worst things that you can do. As an entrepreneur or someone trying to create their own income, the weekends are the 2 days that you've got which are completely in your control. So if you wake up and you set the same schedules for those days, you can have one of the most productive days that you can. I'll be honest with you, I love Saturdays. I absolutely love Saturdays, and I'll tell you why. Because on Saturday I wake up at 5, just like I do here. But instead of spending 8 hours at a job, I can spend those hours the way that I want. I train, I come here, I script a video, I post it normally, and then what I do is I go to a coffee shop. I go to a coffee shop and I study more. Because I'm in a good mental state, my sleep's still good. Now I've actually started making a huge shift. It was a massive mindset shift now. I'm going to start to avoid things that are going to mess up my sleep schedule, but on an extreme level. Unless I have to, I will try to be at home, in my room, and be in bed by 10 o'clock every night, Monday to Sunday. I need to take any advantage that I can if I'm to get where I want to get to. But I just wanted you to know this. It is a secret that not many entrepreneurs tell you about because it's hidden behind the business model and the flashy cars. But these are the things that can build you a really powerful foundation for success. And I'm practicing what I preach. If I do grow, then you can see that it does work. If I don't, then go elsewhere. But you know my message? Keep building, keep progressing, and I'll catch you in the next one.